Trial by Podcast, where we, an assortment of somewhat experts, bring you cutting-edge commentary on Game of Thrones and A Song of Ice and Fire. I am Philip, and I am admin on Donald Noy. Everyone else who is here, introduce yourselves, please.
I am Devin, also known as Wandering Crow from Donald Noy.
I'm Malcolm, the mini-page admin, primarily Oberyn Martell and Rhaegar Targaryen.
I'm Tim. I also admin Dolnoy under the name Lord Stewart.
And I am Ray Munez. I am Raimundus Rex from the Usurpers Anonymous of Westeros, and recently Wolfheart on Only Cat.
Okay, this week we will be discussing the first episode of Game of Thrones. As something of a disclaimer, a few of us, myself, Tim, Malcolm, and Devon have all seen the 4 leaked episodes. Ray has not. Ray has only seen the premiere. So we'll only be talking about the first episode. We won't be spoiling anything from 2, 3, and 4 until they come out to everyone else.
Unless by mistake.
No, we will not be. I've sent you a recap of the first episode. You can't.
We might
screw
have a
this
rant.
up.
We might have a Kraken jump in at some point as well.
A tentacle.
We might.
A tentacled fuck.
A tentacle.
We might have him jump in.
Kraken Watch is in effect.
Right, so this episode opened up with the first flashback the show has ever done. Because they had this big thing against flashbacks that they've never really explained. And now they're doing it because they've realised they can't tell the story without at least including some flashbacks. Somewhat disappointing, given they've missed out Tower of Joy and Brandon's execution. But
And even with the one...
better late than never.
Yeah, if they did it.
I don't know, they kind of ruined the one chance that they had of actually doing this one correctly by leaving out pretty much the biggest part of it.
What, the Valancourt?
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that how you say it? Valancourt? Valancourt? I don't know.
I always said
Valancourt.
Valancourt, but
Valakar, I think.
Well, I mean, like they might bring it up again because, like, I mean, I think I mentioned this before. Like, Cersei, the Maggie the Frog isn't told like all at once in Cersei's thing. It's like bit by bit. Like it comes up a few bits, and then there's a big bit part about it at the end of the chapter. Then I think more is explained. I can't remember. So it might come up again like later on when she's arrested or something like that.
yeah, I figure that during her, like, because there's a lot of time spent in imprisonment for Cersei that the show probably won't dwell on as much as the books did, where they'll probably just elaborate on the rest of the prophecy there.
Also something I thought, because she had her friend with her in that scene, Melara.
Yeah, and they didn't do her.
Yeah, they didn't have her killed or anything, which
Yeah.
happens. So it makes me think, what the hell was the point of having her there at all in that scene?
From what I saw, actually, like, they listed her as Jean, I can't even say the name right, Jane? Like,
Jane?
Really?
Like how you say Jin Pool or something like that. Like, that's what I saw in, like, a recap I was reading.
I recall that too, actually.
Well, maybe they couldn't be bothered to go with the name Melara.
Well, she's never mentioned by name, is she?
No.
And so she's
Not
I
in
think
the
she's,
show, no.
she's just there to be kind of a foil for baby Cersei.
Possibly.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, they might do it that way, actually. Yeah, I suppose. But yeah, like, because I was kind of wondering, why did they bother hammering her if they weren't going to have her like killed off?
Because all it does is ominously tell us what we already know about the way her and Robert panned out.
And Martin,
Yeah.
like...
And Marjorie, a little bit, yeah.
But speaking of that, then, like, did like with the whole Maggie the Frog thing, like, did anyone just find her like too attractive to
Yes.
be Maggie the Frog?
I only
Yeah.
picture her as like stereotypical, like wart, boil-faced, crooked nose witch, like out in the swamp.
Double
she was
boil
distracting
and
me.
trouble.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
for God's sake, Kraken's here.
Oh, he splashed on in.
He's finally
I was here for like 3 minutes. I didn't get a chance to say a thing.
The
Good,
Kraken.
I want you.
The Kraken has been released. He's here now.
So I have to ask about Maggie. Is it true that she's hot?
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
Can you include like a picture in the link so I can just look at this
I'll get one.
and see if it's worth looking at?
He actually is.
No, if anyone's has anyone seen Last of the Mohicans?
Yes, I have.
Yes, Maggie the Frog is not the main female lead, but the female lead sister
It's for you, Craig.
in that film. So like the second female character, second main female character.
Oh.
That's where I remember her from. I don't think she didn't have many lines in that film.
Never beat me.
I don't think, but
I didn't realize Malcolm was in the call.
You do not.
Yes.
Yep, Malcolm's here.
Hi, McCracken. Long time. No.
Yeah, I've been
see.
dead for a week. It's good to be back.
With the
Good to know he's not the
Great
little
shitstorm.
fucker's still alive.
Yeah, I think I'm done with like Hitler posting at this point. I think I've made enough Hitler pictures to be satisfied.
it's a solid.
I need to share some on my pages.
Yeah,
Oh,
Stannis' love was wanting me to send it to them so they could post it, but I was already like in the first day of my ban that Zuckerberg dropped.
Fuckerberg.
I don't know, I'm thinking of like making a new cover photo that has the Kraken from Clash of the Titans and like in two of its tentacles, like you see the heads of like D&D Graves and Mark Zuckerberg.
no, do it.
Yeah, it's
That
Great.
sounds like
I don't
a
know
really
how
good
it
idea.
has
Just like
Ready.
put Photoshop all of their heads onto spikes. I didn't have time to like Photoshop a Hitler picture, so I just was on Google Images looking for any picture that had Hitler on the body of an octopus.
Which surprisingly already existed.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. Oh god.
So all I had to do was insert his goddamn meme text on it, the impact.
Yeah.
So, generally,
How
from the book readers, everyone is kind of disappointed with the Maggie the Frog because she is too attractive, and then they kind of left off.
I'm not.
They haven't really fully
disappointed.
I got that
Yeah.
disappointed. Like, I think it was a good setup scene overall. I'm not
yeah.
with the whole attractiveness thing. It's
Honestly, a minor detail.
I think she should have been like more kind of.
I could almost see it from the show point of view, them
she
making
should have
someone
been
more
more
attractive.
double.
So they've been doing the
trouble.
whole series anyway, right?
Yeah, so I mean, you can't really blame them for that regard, I guess.
Well, the whole
Yeah.
series is over-sexualized characters anyway. That shouldn't have been. So
I mean, they can
Well,
have. She's not.
except for because people complain about I'm not gonna call her Yara. She's Asha.
Yeah.
Can people complain about her appearance that she's not attractive enough or whatever?
yeah.
She's-
I thought
I
she
never-
fit pretty good.
I never imagined Asha as being attractive in the
No, she was just
books.
in charge.
Tim, have I
Yeah.
ever told you about this great Morpheus meme where it says, "What if I told you Asha's uglier than Brienne?"
I was in that one.
No.
And no one
Yeah,
ever
I don't
bitches.
have
No one
it,
bitches
though.
about Brienne primarily only because they built it into the character.
Well, people do.
Is she
Well,
gonna
people
fight
have mentioned
Sansa?
that Brienne isn't unattractive enough.
Yeah.
Could
So it's a
make-
total
gonna fight
inverse.
Val.
So I've never heard that before. That's a total inverse situation then.
Yeah. Can we make Gwendolyn Christie less attractive? Not really. No.
Not really.
We could try.
Maybe she could like wear a face mask or something.
Just wear that Dinklage like mask, the really realistic Dinklage mask, and just
Oh
walk
my
around.
god. Jeez.
With Dinklage mask.
There's a it was a convention, and this presumably quite attractive woman from like the way her body looked, wearing like a crop top and jeans, but she had a very realistic looking Peter Dinklage mask on, and it just
Oh my God.
I think I've seen this before.
disconcerting.
Yeah, I'd rather see Brienne with a Hannibal Lecter mask.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
it's
she
really.
deserves that after the bite she gave the hound.
No, maybe she'll deserve that after the bite she would have gotten from Biter.
Yeah.
Maybe Robert Strong's gonna bite off Brienne's face if she actually fights him.
Okay.
Oh my god, I heard about that.
Yeah, and so,
So like then they just fucking
Do we-
up a game bowl. But
Do we really think that's gonna happen?
I
okay,
don't
we're
know.
gonna treat that. We're gonna
Well-
treat it as a rumor, so I don't have to cut this bit out for spoilers. We're treating this as a rumor, right? So basically, McCracken just spoiled something, so we've just cut a bit out to not Spoil you.
No one
people.
mentioned it. Don't mention the war. I mentioned it once, but I think I got away with it.
It would be extremely painful
Going back to the Robert.
You're a big guy.
For you.
for you.
There are hints towards strong things that happened within the.
Right, let's get back on fucking topic. Go.
Yes.
So where were we? Maggie the Frog.
Yeah, we just
We're
ended
talking about
that.
people.
Maggie the Frog is annoyingly attractive, but that's all the bad thing. And we didn't see that much Valentine.
What did her voice sound like?
It was really
Like,
a
did she have
sweet
good
voice. It wasn't even really.
It was smooth.
Yeah, it was
It
a
didn't
kind of
croak.
sweet, smooth.
It
It
didn't
was quite
croak.
down to
Actually, wait.
earth.
If I'm gonna, well, it was kind of like, actually, I think the best comparison is kind of like, she was kind of like Bellatrix Lestrange from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah, that's a fair.
That
That's
is-
actually a
The,
That's
the,
fair.
the voice
Not as
is
high
the
pitched.
voice as well.
No high pitches. It was just like when she's using her smooth voice. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, when Bellatrix is using a smooth voice, not her like high pitched, screechy one.
Imagine the actress that plays Bellatrix in every other movie except for Harry Potter.
Yeah,
A lot of movies.
fair.
Well, in Fight Club, she has an American accent, so.
yeah, Helena Bonham Carter.
What a name.
Yeah. So the next scene was Cersei showing up at Tywin's court.
Yeah, her conversation with
And then
Jaime.
Jamie didn't rape her this time.
Yeah, this time
Hey,
they
good
were
for
showing
him.
about dead family member who there was no rape. No
Nothing turned consensual this time.
Well, our special someone wasn't able to show up for season 5. Maybe Cersei can be brought to Dorne for season 6 if Graves returns.
Great. Return from beyond the grave.
Episode-
no, thank you.
Season 6, Revenge of the Graves.
We'll come back as a white.
There's
Yeah,
anything really
season-
worth mentioning from their conversation?
Oh,
I
there is
liked it,
actually,
actually.
because it's never actually revealed in the books to Cersei that Jamie let Tyrion free.
Yes.
Oh, but yeah, she just kind of.
She knows now.
But
She
It's
just
also
like
never
she
revealed to
excuses
her.
and then it's fact.
I get the feeling she'd be even angrier at the fact that Jaime and Tyrion were hugging each other before he let him go.
I mean, even though the brothers, I don't think Cersei would just be kind of like just okay as she seemed in the show with Jamie just letting Tyrion go.
She was actually okay with that.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, she pretty much was.
I
I
don't.
don't-
I think she
Oh,
was.
no, well,
I
no,
don't
she-
think
she
she
was
was.
okay.
Okay.
She was-
She's not okay, but she points to Tywin and says, "This is the result of your action." She blames.
She kind of just guilts
that's
him.
it.
She's like, "It's your fault that this happened," and then that's kind of it. She's like nonchalant about it.
Did
She
you
can
happen to
just for-
see like any red priests in the background during that scene?
No,
No.
No. So
I'm
no
looking at it now and I
possibility,
don't see.
no probability of Tywin rising from the dead
I was
No.
just disturbed by his eyes.
for
So-
consensuality.
Yeah, when I saw the stones on his eyes, I was like, "Ugh."
They are. Those stones are weird. Those are
Yeah,
really
the
weird.
stones kind of irritate me.
But did Tywin agree to having the stones put over his eyes before death? Was it a consensual decision?
No, it became
It became
consensual.
It
consensual.
became
So he-
consensual after.
So he didn't agree to having the 2 rocks placed over his eyes. He didn't agree to that.
It's like, oh,
It was
Pycelle.
forced on him.
Make sure, it's like, Master Pycelle, make sure that they don't put those eye stones when I die.
Well, I wouldn't want 2 little rocks over my eyelids while I was dead.
I don't think you'd really.
That's
Yeah.
why you don't follow the 7.
Would put
Oh, so if
rocks
I
on all
didn't
of your
care, you-
tentacles.
So if I didn't care, that would mean that I wouldn't care if someone was like putting their balls over my eyes while I was dead.
You're dead. Who cares?
Oh, yeah, that's the spirit. Thanks to people like you, we're just gonna have things like necrophilia.
You made me
legal.
spit out my drink. Fuck, you know.
Hmm. That scene, I actually quite like that scene because it was like, maybe it's just that I haven't seen Nikolai and Lena act in a year, but it was just like they were both acting really well, and the back and forth between them was kind of interesting, and I kind of liked it. Like, I know some of it was a bit silly, like the whole like and not book accurate, but I don't know. I just like the
Yeah,
acting.
there was. Well, because there was another point I was going to make. Jamie was out of character in that scene because he mentioned as soon as when Cersei came in, like, oh, they're all going to come after us now, and like
Jamie
to
doesn't have
be
that kind
to
of
be
thought.
worried about like all of the people, like,
Yeah.
and I was like, isn't that what Cersei should be doing? Cersei's supposed to have like the paranoia of everyone, not Jaime. I was like, that's not.
Jaime doesn't care about that stuff at all.
Does Cersei
Yeah.
have mental illnesses? Like, if you think about it,
I'm sure there's a post on somewhere where they diagnose her with something.
schizophrenia.
Possibly. But I'm not a mental health expert.
Like,
Are
for
there
example,
sexually
like,
transmitted mental illnesses?
yeah, that's syphilis.
Ah, okay.
I don't. Yeah, I just found it weirdly out of character for Jaime to say that.
That was
It's-
like, we need to give him something to say.
Would you say it was a good deviation though? Like I was telling Phil and Tim this, just how in season 1 a lot of deviations they're making, they didn't change things too much. They just sort of added like extra pieces of detail and lore.
Well, like,
For
this
example,
is, even something that, sorry, I'll let you get back.
for example, they might have like 2 characters discuss like a past event. Like maybe, for example, the scene where Robert, Jaime, and Barristan were discussing the Mad King.
Oh, that's
like,
good.
oh, Jaime, like what was the Mad King like? And Barristan, what was the Mad King like? And it's sort of things that you could see the characters asking each other behind the scenes, and then they actually brought it up. So was it like a good deviation that just added a nice piece like
I
that?
think
or...
that there
No,
are
it was-
good deviations within these episodes that we've seen so far.
no, they told
this
me about
one
a
was,
good one. Stannis Shireen.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
not
that
Stannis,
wasn't in
yeah.
this episode. We can't say it.
Do we have to cut that bit out?
No, we
No,
won't cut
no,
that
no.
out because people have heard it. Like that's been in the grapevine. There is a scene between Sansa and Shireen.
But yes, that was a really good scene. We'll talk about it when we get there.
Yeah, when it legally
I
airs,
still have to
we'll
See you in
talk
3
about
weeks, folks.
it.
What was I saying? But it wasn't like this is like because the good deviations you talk about is like reveals information either about the characters or like exposition, whatever. This one was just like kind of out of character for Jaime. Because Jaime doesn't kind of care about the politics. He doesn't care about. He literally doesn't care. He says like, oh, like all that Tywin has built is whatever is going to be taken by these people, and it's actually inconsistent with the character of Jaime from last season because Jaime in last season said like, I'm joining the Kingsguard. I don't give a fuck about your legacy. He said that to Tywin.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah, I think this kind of thing, as long as they don't keep doing it, I don't see them doing that kind of character assassination much, to be honest.
Well, they
but
already sent him in
I wouldn't
the
worry
direction,
about it.
Right, so it's like,
If it repeats, though, then I'll launch into the rants.
well, nothing that happens to Jaime is gonna be
you're launched into the rants
at all
anyway. So.
everything
Yeah, I'll
Jaime related in the show is gonna be non-canon anyway.
Personally, if it was me, I would just take I would take ink, I would just pour acid in, and I would just rub it in D&D's eyes.
It's an extreme reaction.
I sure someone load up the HBO fucking.
I would just backhand the both of them.
Or I could just fill their cracks in, but then I'd feel tainted.
I was going to say, well, there was another inconsistency because Cersei, like the Maggie the Frog said, like Cersei will have 3 children and Robert will have 20.
Yeah.
Whereas in the show universe, Cersei did have another child of Robert. She actually gave birth to one and then it died or whatever. Or like,
I thought she aborted it.
Yeah, she aborted.
no, that she didn't. She actually gave birth to it and it died in the show because she has a conversation with Catelyn about it.
I
in
thought
season
she was
one.
making that shit up.
I think she may have been.
Well, why? I don't know. Why would she make it up though? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, because like she's talking.
Because she's mentally ill.
She's
She's trying to convince Catelyn to put Bran down
Yeah, pretty much.
because she doesn't
Yeah.
want Bran to wake up. She's really paranoid about that.
For good
I
reason.
don't know.
too.
Maybe I just thought she was just quite sincere. I don't know.
I never.
You
feel
just
Cersei's
see the
mean.
best in people.
Every time
Sorry,
Cersei's
I
I
really
just feel-
don't.
it's
every
just a
time
plot hole
Cersei's
from
sincere, I'm
D&D.
like, get the fuck out of here.
Of course, this could just be D&D forgetting another scene from a previous season. They
That is
do
definitely
quite a
possible.
lot.
That's actually probably the most likely explanation.
I just
They just forgot.
realized. Wait, did Maggie the Frog actually say Robert will have 20 children in the show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
It's
just
16.
thinking, like, if Graves was here, he might have actually followed the books and given us more flashbacks, and he probably would have given us that one where Cersei is just devouring Robert's heirs. Just like that scene, though, that was like one of the most messed up things I've read, and just the way she thought about it was so fucking weird.
Because she's fucked up, man.
Yeah, she was like licking it off her fingers
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
She's like, I devour your heirs.
Yep.
I am a
That's-
lion.
That's a preferable thought to her than giving birth to it.
I know you were all kind of complaining about a lack of flashbacks in earlier seasons, but think like if we did get flashbacks in earlier seasons, I'm sure we get things like maybe like a flashback of Jorah's love life,
Oh,
or just
none of that was.
I don't
needed.
know,
Like, you don't need it when you can have the character say it.
something really stupid like just Daenerys flashbacks maybe like
So what?
stupid
Just
ones.
the red door. Just flashbacks to the red door.
No, the red door could be good if done right. I could honestly see them doing like Jorah's love story that he mentioned, and then having like a flashback of him
What else is there
getting
to say?
abandoned by his wife. You know what I'd love to see though? I would love to see flashbacks on basically a flashback on shit. I forgot. Damn it.
Together.
Who's playing Ario Hota?
Some black guy.
Some big black guy, basically.
I can't pronounce his name.
Can we
How
just
English
call
are
him
you?
Idris Elba?
He's not Idris Elba.
It's
though.
not Idris Elba.
That's why I said, can we call him Idris Elba? Like to reference we'd want him to be. Like we can refer to Victarion as
Well, just because he'd be like
as
high-
race.
Stevenson.
Yeah.
Victarion isn't in it though.
Not yet.
Spoiler alert.
But
Shh.
Euron
Don't
could
crush
be.
my
Do
hopes like this.
you
Not
think
yet.
Euron's
Not yet.
going to be in it
I'm gonna keep.
Yes,
as
I think
Dario?
so.
How?
I
I don't.
don't think he will.
I don't see how you
don't
can leave these
know.
people out.
Euron, I cannot see them deleting.
Well, you wanna know what?
I think they already
They
like
already casted Euron.
what?
It's
No, they
Dario.
didn't.
Oh, it's Dario, yeah.
So I don't need to recast him.
Actually, back in 2013, I never actually noticed this, but I got like happened to see the Ultimate Guide to Game of Thrones. This was back during like season 1 and season 2 when all was well, and Stannis Baratheon, the new Chuck Norris, actually posted this at some point. But there was a family tree for each family. And
Oh
if
yeah. I
you
remember
look
this.
Yeah.
at the Greyjoy family tree, it actually just says Euron Greyjoy. No heir, no damp hair, no Victarion.
Yeah, but that was back in season 3, season 2.
Yeah, what about like season 1 where they were referencing Victarion?
That's
Yeah, they
Oh
right.
yeah,
referenced his
season
brothers.
1 they referenced his
Uncle.
Theon's uncles. No, he says uncles plural. He says plural uncles. So technically they should exist,
No.
Fuck.
but apparently
Yeah.
they don't. Well, that's another thing. I mean, like, because Balon, they've forgotten about him completely.
Yeah.
He's gonna live to the fucking end, I tell you, because they'll have forgotten about him.
What do you think will drop first? Balon's corpse or Tormund's stiff member?
Probably Tormund, because
Not possible.
no, it's gonna be Tormund because Stannis is like, I hope you have better luck with Tormund than Mance. Or
What
John-
shrivels never collapses, but only rises again, stronger, harder, and taller.
Thanks.
That was
Right. Okay, we need to move
Moving
on
on.
to the next scene.
Yeah, from here
Yes.
we go to the like morning ceremony, right? Like the big old like party. Like,
No, it's the Tyrion.
No,
so-
No, it's
is it the
Tyrion
Tyrion thing first?
no.
Tyrion.
Wait, there was Cersei and she's talking to like Lancel and Kevin.
Yeah, that's what I thought it
Nope.
was.
No,
And
No,
there's
that's-
a
I just
Tyrion
looked
bit
at it.
first.
there's actually quite a lot before that, actually.
Yeah, it's Tyrion and
If we're going scene by
Varys.
scene,
Yeah, that's.
Oh, that's right. That's
If
right.
we
to
could do it
mine.
story. We could do it storyline by storyline. It'd probably be simpler.
Okay.
All right, fine.
I'm following it right now, so that's how I know.
Because yeah, we're talking
Alright.
about fucking Cersei and shit.
All right, let's go to Ty Loris. Okay,
Oliver?
Oliver.
No, it's not Oliver yet.
It's
We're not talking about
Oliver.
Oliver yet. Oliver. I think he
I
does
always
introduce
mix up
himself as
Ollie
Oliver.
and
He
Oliver.
actually
He
actually
says
says his
Oliver.
name. He says Oliver in the show. Actually, he says it in this episode.
And then
She's
she's
So,
like,
like,
so he says his fucking name.
So I'm guessing Loris again was only no character was shown, just his homosexuality, right?
yeah.
And comic relief too. He called Tywin a force to be reckoned with, not once but twice.
That
And
was
that's
yeah.
because
I thought that was pretty funny.
Who said that about Tywin?
he said,
Because
yeah,
he was talking to Cersei, trying to give his condolences, and then Cersei like said like thank you or something like that, and she but in a way that basically says fuck off.
I was hoping.
It was-
I
it was
hoping
quite
for her to
great.
Rip into him like she does in.
Did
season
Loris
3?
reckon with Oliver with his force?
You bet he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yes.
Yes.
It was extremely painful.
For him.
For somebody involved.
But
So Marjorie
yeah,
walking in on her brother and his gay lover.
oh, are we jumping to that? So
We-
we're not going to talk about the
Thought we were
Lo-
doing-
Cersei
Lancel-
scene because
Okay.
Lancel and Kevin are back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
God
we'll talk
damn
about
it.
that
You
then.
just reminded me of
I'm kind of-
Oberyn and Loras in season 4.
You fucking cracking. Alright.
Right,
Thanks,
so,
for
um,
suggesting this.
See.
Because they brought back I think the actor's name is Ian Gelder, I believe, who plays Kevin,
He's back.
and he'd only been like 2 or 3 scenes before, and like really brief scenes.
Yeah, he was
Who's
in
the
he
actor
was
for
in,
Oliver?
He was in.
I don't know.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Oh, you're talking Kevin now.
Kevin,
Yeah,
yeah.
Kevin was in like the tent scene with Tywin
season 1.
in season
And he
Did
was
he
at
ever s-
Harrenhal in
Yeah.
season 2.
2 episodes, and then 1 episode in season 2.
Yeah. So it's kind of surprising they brought back the
But
same
they didn't
actor, 'cause I thought
recast
they
him.
recast him. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was great, actually. That was positive.
But basically, like I think she sees Lancel before she meets with Kevin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just
Because-
before.
Yeah, because Lancel's like, you should, think about the sparrows. Maybe, maybe we can pray for Tywin's soul and shit. And she
I
kind
thought
of,
sorry, continue.
she like quips at him. It's like the day Tywin Lannister needs your prayers. Just kind of generally being a Cersei to everybody.
Yeah,
What the-
Lancel was kind of unrecognizable to me at first because he had that haircut.
He legitimately looked different.
Did he
Yeah.
look terrible though? Like exhausted and like
No, he
whiting
looked
hair?
healthier.
What?
Well, it's because it's been 3 seasons since we last saw him.
But he's supposed to look like an old man.
True.
He looks way young. Like the Lancel I remember from like season 2 was like extremely thin to the point it scared me.
Back when I was watching season 1, I couldn't really recognize many characters. I just remember seeing this like scene with like Renly and Loras, and then suddenly there was just like a blowjob, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And I kept mistaking Lancel for Loras just
I did
based
too.
off the way
I
he
did
looked.
too. Because of the hair. The hair looked like exactly the same.
The hair's just too fabulous for everyone.
I just don't get how Lancel's voice is so freaking deep. He looks like he's been neutered.
He looks a lot stockier in this season.
oh yeah, well,
he looks religious fanatic. Like
Yeah.
yeah, he looks
He
that,
fits
and
his
he
role.
talks like that as well. Like he talks like he's brainwashed.
He talks whimsically, like he's not there.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can see Melisandre burn him.
He sounds like an Illuminati
Don't
conspiracy.
worry. And like,
Time is coming.
next episode, I think we'll have something to complain about with Melisandre.
I kind of want to see Wyman Wanderley make
Actually, no, we
Lancel
still
into
have
a
something to
pie,
complain about Melisandre's episode.
Yeah.
and
We do.
then he can give that pie to Melisandre to cook, and then she can just turn it to ashes.
Yeah, but Wyman's not going to be there, so it's not.
I wish.
Wyman is Dario.
Thanks.
Fucking hell.
A fatsu.
Not everyone is Dario.
Yes, there.
What if Dario's a faceless man?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Dario's
And
face.
everyone
Not
in the
everyone
universe
is
just-
Dario, but everyone.
Oh yeah,
is
there was
Vincent.
that theory that someone on Westeros came up with that all the point of view characters are the same faceless man with multiple personality disorder.
What about my theory on Benjen Stark, Tim?
Which one was that?
Maybe a unique one.
That
Is
he's
it the Benjen
a
Stark is
guy
the reverse
from the
Flash?
future.
Benjen
guy
Stark
from the
is the
future.
reverse Flash. Oh yeah, I remember that.
Do you think Benjen Stark used technology like that to take people's identities after he killed them?
Fucking hell.
It's the only way you
Right,
can
Jesus.
moving away from non-related.
We're not going to talk
fandoms.
about the Flash.
Right.
The one thing that they kind of decent, I guess, would be the White Rat. White Rat?
Yeah,
thing-
White Rat, but yeah, he was
Alright.
called Stalwart Steward, I believe, in the Stalwart Shield. Sorry, in the book.
Yeah.
Can I just ask?
Remember,
Sorry.
yeah, go on.
I just wanted to ask you a quick question about the sparrows. Like before we abandon that, I just like seriously, are the sparrows just the name of the militants of the faith, or are they like what exactly
They were called
qualifies
the
someone as a
Sparrows
sparrow?
before Cersei gave them the faith militant status in the show.
So they were
Uh,
called sparrows before.
We're
they
going to
be-
talk about this is post episode 1 stuff, but Does it really matter?
They talk about it a
Sparrows
little
is-
bit. No, that,
Kevin brings it up.
Yeah, he says
He refers to him
as a sparrow
and tells
Cersei to forgive his like the way he is.
yeah. And
Yeah.
Lancel's actually the one that brings up the praying for a soul, and
Yeah.
she makes that comment to him.
And then basically
Then-
from there, we just have the Marjorie, Oliver.
No, after well, that
Marjorie
actually
No,
that
no, yeah, that is the
actually
Marjorie and
happens
Oliver
later near
Oliver
the end.
scene.
Yeah, which is
No, no,
just
it happens
right after that.
the
In
last scene.
between,
I
in
got
between
a-
that is
I got a
the
recap right here.
Peter and
I got a recap right here. It
Sansa.
says it.
I thought we were just doing the.
I'm
yeah, we're
watching
doing King's Landing,
character
Malcolm. We're not
by-
going through.
we're
We're not
doing all
going
King's
by
Landing.
chronology. I've already tried to do that, and
Alright.
everyone was against it.
I was with
Um,
you, but everyone else just thought.
But yeah, like, cause Oliver says like finds like fucking birthmark on Loris's leg, and it's like, oh, that looks like
What?
Dawn. It's like,
Ugh.
yeah, it's
What?
fucking just it's shit. It's
I
so
love
shit.
that.
It's
I
just
love that.
bad. It
Whoever
is
just-
just
That's
quite
It's so bad.
Whoever in the
Expert.
whoever in the background, just like, ugh, I love. Thank you.
That's D&D dialogue. Are you joking? Are you kidding me?
That's Dawn.
They love
see?
this stuff.
What's
Well,
that
it's not.
thing?
Well, speaking of D&D, oh, actually no, I'll jump into that later when we go
Yeah,
to
but
the
did they
wall.
write a dialogue about Loris having a birthmark that Oliver said looked like Dorne?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
What
They did.
thought of, like, how do you think of that? Like,
They
I
cut
don't-
Stoneheart, but they included a line about a birthmark that looks like Dawn.
Oh my god.
Genius dialogue, guys.
This is-
So
But
the
yeah.
Beatles speech has been dethroned.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has. The Beatles
Well,
speech
no,
has
no.
been dethroned.
Not really.
I don't know. The Beatles scene was quite long.
It was
So-
really long, actually. It might,
It
it might
was
reclaim it merely.
He just kept fucking going on about Beatles. Just like he kept repeating the same shit over and over again. Just like
What is the noise that Orson Lannister makes?
it was basically Tyrion and Jamie making fun of a spacker. Just like complete.
Making fun of Orson Scott Card.
Yeah, basically.
What's worse is actually people think that there's some depth to that conversation. I just keep telling them, you know that was D&D just making fun of an online critic like that trashed their show, right?
Yeah.
No depth at all at it.
Well, at least they're not arguing that there's depth to the birthmark.
Hopefully.
But
Somebody
wait,
somewhere.
it looks like Dorne. I guess there is some significant depth and foreshadowing subtlety in that.
Well, no, like they say, oh, it looks like Dawn. Maybe we should go to Dawn. And then I was just like, what?
Yeah, it's like it looks like Dawn. We should go there. And then he gets arrested. Says, "Oh, fuck."
Or maybe Loris will like be fighting.
Fuck!
Maybe Loris will be fighting and he'll like take a cut.
Fuck you,
Loris'
Devin.
leg, and then you'll see like blood coming out of the
I'm learning
birthmark.
about the episode before I see it.
Shit. Alright, carry on.
Are we done?
Yeah, we're good.
I think we're done with King's Landing.
Yes. Let's move on to Danny.
Let's go to
Let's just
Dorne.
get Danny. No, let's just go Danny.
Let's not go to Torn, thank
Let's
you.
go to
me-
Danny, because
give me-
Danny's the easiest one to trash.
Let's go south.
Alright, no, actually, no, let's go to Tyrion, because Tyrion's really short. He has one scene.
Well, no, he has two scenes, but it's split into two parts.
Who said
Does
anything
he?
about him?
Does he?
I don't get to see Illyrio.
Yes, he does.
He mentioned
We don't get to see Illyrio. No, they're in Pentos.
Are
And
we-
Illyrio
yeah,
is
see
just not
Illyrio?
there.
Do you think Illyrio will even show up though?
No.
Probably not.
Or
Yeah.
if he did, do you
I
think
can
he'd
tell
show-
you now, 4 episodes in, he's not showing up. Spoiler alert.
That's
Yeah.
because he's busy commanding the naval fleet of Meereen.
Fuck off. Zorozo and Doxos can't fucking do it.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Sorrow.
talking about the Tyrion scene. Desperately trying to get everyone on topic.
Some weird thing,
Um,
they weirdly changed Varys' backstory. Because they said, like, Varys met Illyrio because, like, being mutual friends to the Targaryens or something like that. When, in fact, they met ages ago before that. Like, they grew up together in... Oh, wait, where was it? Was it in Myr? Or was it in Pentos? I can't remember.
it was in
Was it in Myr?
Lease. It was
Lease. It was in Lease.
I recall someone on Facebook was just saying, what was the point of making Varys complain about magic and like taking revenge on the sorcerer in season 2 and 3 if it turns out that he's really just supporting someone who used magic to create magical creatures that kill tons of people.
Because D&D logic.
That's a pretty good answer to everything.
When I first saw that, I thought they were going to spin it around on the warlocks. But
Does anyone know if Dave Hill is the main writer for any of the
I
episodes?
don't think so.
I
Yeah,
think
there's-
he's
He
the
was-
right. He's right for one of the episodes. I think. I don't know which one. I think he's the right for episode 3 actually.
Let's just pass over that. But yeah, Tyrion's scenes felt kind of like
he drank a lot.
He
Yeah,
drank a
it
lot,
was-
so
it
they
was
got
just
that.
They got that part
bit of
down.
character, right?
They nailed that part. He threw
Yeah.
up. He threw
How
up.
whitewashed was he?
this episode. Not really. Like he just drinks a lot.
Yeah, he drinks,
Oh
he throws
my
up, and it looks pretty
God.
gross. It's just bloody throw
And he
up.
just drinks it
Never
again.
saw
And he just keeps drinking after he threw up.
And
That was
Varys
actually
kept
pretty funny.
pretty much just brought up asking him what he wanted to do, if he wanted to stay there and drink to death or go help him find Daenerys.
Yeah, so it's pretty much confirmed Aegon's cut.
Yep, so that's fucked.
And that's the best we'll get out of a Connington. It's like, oh, we referenced the whole drinking thing, you know?
Yep.
But there could have been
Which is so
good-
weird too, because they keep mentioning. I was gonna. Okay, I'm gonna stop because I was gonna talk about grayscale and I'm gonna tone it back.
Okay.
Well,
Um.
You could have had some kinky grave stuff with grayscale.
True.
No, we couldn't have. That's absolutely something we will not have ever.
What do you think? What do you think the Stonemen are doing?
Grayscale in the
Chilling.
books.
They're
Just
fucking
just
each other.
chilling.
They're all fucking
I
each other.
deserve it.
Orgies until they die of grayscale.
All right, let's talk about like the
Daenerys.
Unsullied and Daenerys and pulling a harpy down a building, which looked quite cool.
It did look
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
It looked pretty cool, but like there were people standing like underneath.
Yeah,
and
when
then
I
they
s-
moved
when I
down
saw
to the
that
plate. I was
happening-
like, "What are you doing?
Yeah, I saw that.
Cool
Why are you
people
standing
stand
right
next.
underneath?"
I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Did she break the wheel yet?
No.
She hasn't. She hasn't, given
She
us
hasn't had
one.
that quote yet.
So they pulled the harpy down the chicken Itza, and then
White rat.
well they
Did you
had
just call it the chicken itza?
yes.
Oh yeah, what about the Sons of the Harpy?
Right. So
Yeah, they first,
yeah, they
they
have-
first
one of the
attacked,
others-
but they haven't really been. I don't think they weren't named in the first episode, were they? Like,
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, they
they
were.
They were.
I thought the Sons of the Harpy weren't even relevant or canon to A Song of Ice and Fire.
what?
Yeah.
What?
They are.
They are.
Yeah.
What do you want about?
Have you not seen my other page, the Sons
Sorry,
of the Harpy page?
I was just being too subtle with that reference.
Yeah, you
What?
were. You were being far too
What?
subtle.
I was
What?
referencing that event in which the one person was like, "Oh, we only share A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones pages."
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah, like-
yeah.
Because you asked the Daenerys Targaryen page
Yeah, and
for
they
a
said-
share, and then it
So
said
that
like
was-
we only
yeah.
share Game of Thrones pages.
Exactly. I just realized
Yeah,
you were
I
the
remember
one
that,
speaking. I thought that was Ray talking. So I was like, Ray, what do you mean you don't know? But I know you know because you're the one that was making fun of it with me. Because I kept
They made-
me and you were going and asking all the Daenerys pages
They
to
went
share the Sons of the
full
Harpy.
Graves.
I
Just
need
do it
to
now. Do it
Never
now.
go full Graves.
Shit
Um,
out, Graves says.
But essentially, there's White Rat, as his name, goes to a prostitute and gets cuddled because that's how Unsullied.
He gets cuddled
spend
and
their
sang
nights.
to, and then
You get to
so-
see tits.
you pay a little extra and you get your throat slit.
basically.
That's in short what happens. And this leads on to the
Well,
great
A Missandei and
best-
Grey Worm scene.
Yeah, which I was
Yay,
really
Grey
not.
Worm.
And where Missandei's like, why would an Unsullied go to a brothel, Grey Worm? You're not going to cheat on me, are you?
I don't know.
That's
I need to
that's-
leave now.
And it's like, I
that's
don't
essentially
know
what
why they would go to a brothel. I really don't know. I have not been to a brothel.
I was half
I
expecting
have
to
not
say.
been to a brothel.
I
In
was
the
half
books,
expecting.
doesn't he actually explain it?
In the books,
No.
yes, somebody explains
he?
it.
I thought it was him.
Someone explains it.
I think at this
Oh,
point
I
I would
forgot now.
actually
Okay,
be
wait,
grateful.
hold up. It's like Missandei or somebody related, like when Daenerys is close, gathering of servants. It's their brother that gets killed, right? And
Yeah, but Sunday and Grey Worm were siblings in the book.
They're not.
Uh,
It's a
that makes
different. It's a different Unsullied.
and the brother of the servant or whatever to Daenerys gets killed in place of White Rat, which I guess would be Stalwart Shield.
Star Wars
Uh,
Shield, yeah.
And then I think it's either the sister that explains it or some other Unsullied explains why he was at the brothel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of
No,
irritated me that they ask and then Grey Worm's just like, I don't know.
Like, how the fuck do you not know?
I
think
was
at
half
this
expecting
point-
him to say,
just like
why would they look at a prostitute when they can look at you, Miss Ande, or something really
Oh,
cheesy
God.
like that.
Oh,
I was half
God,
expecting that.
don't even go there.
There was some
Careful,
restraint,
no.
at least.
Why look at the prostitute when you could look at Dario's pubes?
Why look at a prostitute when you can look at someone who's supposed to be like 13 naked? That's fine.
I think I would kind of be okay if there was like a scene where like Missandei cheats on Grey Worm with Dario, just because it would break up that stupid romance.
It's
No,
it's not good.
no.
And then Daenerys could kill Dario for cheating on her.
How dare you?
You could live in my
Sleep
new
behind
world or
my
die in your old one.
I wonder how many diseases Dario gave Daenerys.
I gave her a grayscale.
Well, if they tie in the
He gave her the
The end of-
Targaryen taint of madness
book
because
5, I
he
guess he gives her the
Yeah.
shit.
I was just wondering though, like if how, like there was a Unsullied scene with a horror, like I don't know, I just like it just sounds like a really interesting, challenging, complex challenge for someone like Alex to tackle and trying to establish
No.
consensual.
No.
They
No.
kept the. That's
Like how would
No.
Alex do it? How would he make it like a
He would
sickening
force us
swiftly
horror
on.
scene?
Alex
Moving
Graves-
swiftly on.
Alex Graves would force us
Moving
to look at
swiftly.
castrated.
On.
No, Phil, you can't
Rob.
make the choice. We all have to agree to it together.
Alex
It has
Graves
to be
would show us-
consensual.
It has to be consensual.
But
Alex
Phil's
Graves-
gonna
Trying
make
in
it
a questionable
consensual.
manner.
We would have seen a close up of a castrated crotch. So if Alex had done it. There's a lot of restraint in not doing that. Thank you, D&D. Congrats.
Hey, take
Right.
both Theon.
Yep.
But
Yeah, I
what
think
was
we
I
should
saying?
move on.
We should definitely move
they
on.
they had like yeah was this the episode where they had the sob story for Dario?
Yeah, this was.
Okay.
Like
Banning
God.
Dario
Oh,
Pillar
yeah.
Yeah.
talk.
fucking
About him
hell.
fighting in the pits and that made him who he
He's
is.
just a poor boy from a poor
Poor
family.
family.
Spare
What's his
him his life
backstory?
from the
It was pretty
Could someone
bad.
explain
It
his
was-
backstory to me and like narrate it?
Okay.
I can't
So,
remember it exactly.
There once was a boy named Dario, and he was born a slave. And as slaves were from his part of the world, he was forced to fight. And he fought in the pits at the age of 16. And he slew a man at that age and was deeply disturbed by this
Oh no!
fact.
Wait,
So
you've
he
missed a
went-
bit. You've missed a bit. His mother was a whore.
Sorry,
and
his mother
She
was
sold
a
him.
whore.
She sold him.
He sold him
And who
to
sold him
slavery.
into slavery,
Oh, right.
and then he
okay.
ended up in the pits.
Okay. And then he killed a man at 16, which deeply wounded his psyche. And so he
What?
then killed more people in the pits and got famous. And got very,
He
very
became-
good at killing
Basically
people.
became a rock star.
And then his master.
And then
freed him.
his
Yeah.
slave master let him free because he was good at fighting or some shit. I can't remember.
Yeah, basically. That's essentially what happened.
It's like they're
Yeah, he
trying to make him look like a better fighter than he actually is.
Like, yeah, he came off a lot of shit about being learning all the different styles of combat, like from a Dothraki screamer or a Westerosi knight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
was
he said
told
like, you're
someone
like,
told
oh,
me-
like it's bullshit.
I was
you
told someone
bullshit.
told me like Dario would beat two-handed Jamie in a sword fight.
Oh, fuck off.
Turn him into Taskmaster.
Listen, all that happened was he learned how to fight like a hood rat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
then
We get
And
to
then
Yeah.
all of this was because open fighting pits, please.
Yeah,
and then
basically.
Dario was like, "Oh, you're not the mother of something. You're the mother of dragons, and you need to like set your dragons on people."
And you're the mother of Dario Jr.
God. And then she goes to visit Viserion and Rhaegar, and she's like, "Oh, where the fuck you at?" Because it's in a dark room.
And they were
And
like,
And then they
they're
like-
really mad at
Then they
her.
just like go fire.
they were like,
and
"You're
then
not my real
Then she fucks
mom."
off.
Yeah, it's pretty pointless. It's a
Came out
pretty
and was like,
pointless
"You're not
scene.
my real mom." Oh, shit.
Bitch, you locked us up. I'm gonna roast you.
Were her
That's
dragons
exactly-
just too big to fit in that room?
No,
No,
they were.
it's
They were.
big.
Yeah, they were a
the right
lot
size.
bigger than they were locked
were.
up.
They were just the right size for Victorian to come and grab their necks and use them as flamethrowers.
but like her dragons.
I thought you were going to say they
they're
were
not
just the
too
right size
big.
for Goldilocks there for a second.
They're not too big to be adapted into the show.
Oh wow!
Seeing her go in there just kind of reminded me of the book with Quentin.
Yeah.
It
I'm
would be
kinda
funny
upset
if
that
they
we
just
won't get
replaced
that.
those.
Or if they made her go in there and replace his part and just get.
She just gets burned by Ray.
Oh god.
I wish.
That'd be.
All right.
Well,
so that's Westeros and Essos.
That's Danny. No,
Oh,
it's not all of
Still need to-
Westeros,
we
you
still need to
prick.
No, it's not Westeros. It's not. We've still got the wall, and we've
We're still
got...
no. We're gonna go with Brienne and Podrick and Sansa first because that's
Okay.
less interesting than
There's-
what's happening. to the wall.
Right. So Brienne and Podrick. Okay. The recap I've got
Sansa
here
first.
is
Sansa and Littlefinger.
no. The Brienne stuff's like really short, so we're just gonna do that.
No, but it connects to the Sansa stuff. Spoilers.
Which is one of the
But-
things that I thought was like the
Spoiler-
worst fucking added thing.
All right. So basically, they watch Robin fight, like practicing to
Littlefinger
fight
and Sansa.
under the yeah, this little thing.
He fights like a spack.
Like Lord
Like a girl.
Royce
with
took him in, didn't he?
Girl with palsy was the actual quote.
Yeah.
That was
Under the yeah, he just looks stupid. It's really funny.
It's a travesty.
And then
then
Sansa's
Little-
like being all smart and shit. And
And Littlefinger gets a like note, and it says, "Oh, like, some marriage arrangement or whatever came through," and then Littlefinger and Sansa fuck off in a little carriage. They leave Robin with
Bronze
Bronze Joyce.
yeah,
Bronze Yon, right.
Bronjon Royce.
who's a badass.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they fuck off in a carriage.
And as they're going past, they go past Brienne and Podrick are camping in a field by a stream. Devon just spoiled the scene from episode 2, so we've just cut a bit out. We apologise for that little inconsistency in editing.
I didn't go into much detail.
But yeah, literally all Brienne's scene is them
Mostly.
camping by
Oh,
a
no,
field.
Doesn't she
It's-
kind of
Well,
apologize
She
to him?
tells
She
tells
tells
Podrick
Pod
to
to fuck off. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then he's
And
like,
Pod says
fuck you,
no.
I got nowhere to go. And she's like, I'm not a leader. And she kind of, she's
How
upset.
could this happen to me? That's pretty much what the whole scene amounted to.
And then basically she's like, fine, Pod, you can stay. That's the extent of it, really.
Yeah. It wasn't very interesting, to be honest.
and then
then
from the window to the
Whoa.
wall.
Well, it's still cold. And it's getting colder.
Yeah.
People are still really depressed. They still dress in all black. They hit each other with swords and call each other names.
John's training Ollie to not just shoot his girlfriend, but to stab his girlfriend too. This time, make it a bit cleaner.
John invites the smarmy cunt.
No,
to be
John basically goes. Was John like aggressively attacking Ollie because
Yes,
he killed
he
him?
was.
Is that why he was aggressively attacking
Taking
Ollie?
it out on him.
He's like, what
Get
are
your
these
shield
days?
up.
Like,
Get your
fuck
shield
you.
up.
Yeah, he's
Fuck
like,
you.
fuck you. Now, Ray,
Get your shield up. I don't care if you're
Shield
like
up,
6
Ollie,
years
shield
old.
up.
Get your fucking shield
Get your
up.
fucking shield up.
you deprived me of my ginger minge.
Oh,
that's
Jeez,
Speaking
Ollie, I'll be
of
using a real
gingers.
sword, Ollie. One of these days.
And speaking of gingers, the hottest one shows up next. I believe it was Melisandre.
Goddamn right.
And then she asked him if the king
Sorry.
can have
Oh,
a
the
word.
worst dialogue yet.
And
Wait,
no,
is it
not
the
yet.
worst dialogue yet?
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And
Brace yourselves.
okay, the recap I have here literally describes it as this.
Verbatim.
She asks if John is a virgin, and he says no. She says that's good. That's a better piece of dialogue than the actual dialogue in the show.
No, that is the dialogue. That is
Yeah,
exactly
That's
what the dialogue
exactly
was.
the dialogue.
That is word for word.
They do
That's-
the thing, it's like, aren't you cold? Which I knew they were going to do. And it's like, no, I'm warm because, thank you,
The
Lord.
Lord of Light.
Lord of Light.
Because
is
Lord of
within-
Light.
He's
I
inside.
mean, well, we did it on last time on Trial by Podcast. Actually, me and Danzy actually did the dialogue before, like, because the dialogue, like,
Got released by Winter is Coming. Not Winter.
yeah, because
Yeah,
it was a
watch them all.
review and the premiere at, like, the Tower of London or whatever. So yeah, like it sounded as shit in actual like audio as it looks written down. It sounded just so shit.
It is.
Just like, are you a virgin? No.
No.
Good. It was just what?
It was
Fucking
literally-
what?
I haven't got very many complaints about the wall. But that's a big
Melisandre.
one.
What we learned today is
I
that
have a few.
Melisandre, she doesn't
Isn't-
always want inexperienced boys like Gendry. She wants to have a good time too. When she's when she's trying to get knocked up with a shadow baby, she wants to enjoy the experience.
And Stannis fires low. He's like, come on, Snow, I need a real challenge in bed.
Oh yeah, and then there's stuff about Sam and Gilly have a chat, and they get very scared.
Is
'cause
that this
Thorne looks
episode?
not- Yeah, it
Every
is.
time I see
It
Sam
is.
Gilly on screen, I actually want to die.
But yeah, Thorne, like they look worriedly at Thorne.
It's like, if
And,
he becomes Lord Commander, we're fucked. And it's like, yes.
Basically, that's.
Are you sure that
that's
that
the
is
bell.
this episode?
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm reading
100%.
it almost word for word from
Oh
the
yeah,
recap.
I just saw it. Yeah, I just saw it.
Yes, I'm sure it's this episode.
Oh yeah.
So
But-
that's pretty dull.
I
But then we
oh,
get
yeah.
to the good bit, which is
There was Jon
um,
and Stannis.
Jon
There
and
was Jon and
Stannis,
Stannis.
which was good, which is really good.
Really good.
And
The
John
conversation
Niels,
with John and Mance. was
Mance.
pretty
That was pretty
that
good.
was really
But
good.
I'm okay. Say all the good stuff because I'm about to complain.
All right, so just the conversation between John and Stannis is really good because it's John and Stannis, and they're both good actors.
Yeah.
Kit
it
Harington
it
really-
was a really good scene. And then basically Stannis says, "Yo, John, buddy, do you mind convincing Mance to bend the knee because he's a bit of a
Wanker.
stiff one on the knee at the
Yep.
moment."
They're
And
telling me
John's
if I
like,
kill Nightfall.
"Yeah,"
I'll
and
give
then
her a
John's
whirl.
like, "I'm probably not going to do that because he is a wildling, and they don't really do knee bending very much, even to the One True King."
Well, you gave her a go.
Mm.
The
Right,
one
am I
that kind of.
Okay,
Am I ready to complain yet?
Tim. Right, okay. Everyone quiet
Okay.
for Tim's explanation of why he's angry at this scene.
So, those of you who have read the books know D&D just can't resist, I think, vilifying Stannis, and they've done it once again, because it is different in the books. Because Mance is not burned for not bending the knee; he's burned for deserting the Watch and actually declaring war on the Seven Kingdoms. In fact, well, yeah, I'll read the bloody quote that Stannis actually says. I spent hours speaking with the man, Mance Rayder. He knows much and more of our true enemy, and there is cunning in him, I'll grant you. Even if he were to renounce his kingship, though, the man remains an oathbreaker. Suffer one deserter to live, and hold on.
You
And you encourage others to desert. No, laws should be made of iron, not of pudding. Mance Rayder's life is forfeit by every law of the Seven Kingdoms. So, instead of it being played that he was being burned to death for oath breaking,
Yeah, oath breaking.
it was because he refused to bend the knee, which, yeah,
I
it was
didn't-
just.
I didn't pick up
like
on that until you brought it up just now, but that's.
It's not the worst vilification they've done, but it's
It's not the worst vilification they've done, but it's still.
it's bad.
They
is
kind
bad.
of gave him the appearance so that he would have let him live instead, though, which kind of breaks from Stannis' character in that regard, too.
Yeah, but it's I mean, the way they played it out, it was like he was burning him for not bending the knee.
Right.
Most
And
people.
instead of like because he declared war on the Seven Kingdoms and deserted the Night's Watch, which is punishable by death. Wait, Ray, you were saying.
Oh, well, I was saying, like, while I agree with you on the scene, I found that some people actually, understand why he did it. Like, they're saying, oh, well, the terms that he presented to Mance that, he would, erase all of his crimes if he just bent the knee. Like, he gave him a fair chance, but, Mance was just being stubborn, and he's like, oh, I can't bend the knee because, I'm afraid of looking, weak or something like that. Like, I found a decent amount of people that actually found Stannis to be alright. Like, he's not as bad as I thought he was, but, still, he could have let him live or something like that.
Yeah, it's just I think like they should have like made the reason for him. Stannis should have actually mentioned the reason why he was being burned, as because he deserved the Night's Watch and because he betrayed the Seven Kingdoms, not because he wouldn't bend the knee.
Hmm.
But yeah, But yeah, like
But,
the final scene was played pretty well, though. I think.
At the
With
execution.
John shooting him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with
And
a
him
mercy
burning.
kill right at the end.
That
Yeah.
was good. I'm glad they still
It was a really intense scene to watch. Even though I knew it was happening, my heart was pounding for that scene.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So.
I just hate that they're, according to the actor, anyways, that plays Mance, that they're pretty much done with him after this, and the glamour used in the book most
Yeah,
likely
they're not
won't
doing
happen.
that. They're not doing that.
And what actually has happened to Rattleshirted?
Well,
He's still around.
Rattleshirt is appearing at Hardhome.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if he was still.
So
I don't know
now,
if
so
he's
now we know if the pink letter appears anyway that it is actually Ramsay, right?
Not necessarily.
Not
Well, we know it's
necessarily,
not
'cause Book and
Mance.
Well, it could
Well,
be Mance.
book show divergence might have
Yeah.
at this point we don't know. It could be a spoiler for the books. It might not be.
They said
Yeah.
that they are going to start spoiling the book. So.
Yeah, we don't know. though.
Well, we don't know because we don't know.
I'm
Like,
treating
I mean,
it as don't know because then I can still
because
get
the point
surprised by
is
book.
we don't know, like, because they're not including Ariane Martell, they're not including the Greyjoy brothers, they're not including the Griffs, so we
Could
don't know
almost
how
be a
much.
spoiler in its own, though. Every time I think of that.
What?
Well, not necessarily. We don't know. Like, I mean, because George has said, like, because I think someone actually asked him, like, because there's characters who are cut, like, will they just be non-important in the books? And George has basically said no, like, they won't be unimportant in the books, because as an example of this, he referenced like Jane Westling appearing in Winds of Winter. And that was like Comic-Con last year, I believe. But yeah, because we had a question which was kind of related to this point, was because Mance is actually confirmed dead in the show. What sort of effects do you think Mance's death will have on certain character storylines, such as Tormund, Jon, Melisandre, etc.?
Oh, I don't know. With the glamour thing being different.
I don't think it will have much of an effect.
Yeah, no.
No.
Because it's just.
Because almost everybody in the book is pretty much, as far as they're concerned, Mance is dead anyway.
I mean, yeah, we're not going to have Mance go to
Winterfell.
like Winterfell, disguised as a bard, to try and rescue.
And he's not gonna bring his spear wives in, and like
to
that'll
try
be
and rescue fake Arya.
yeah, and that'll be really weird for Theon's story as well.
Actually, some people are convinced that that's going to be Brienne's story. This this is not a spoiler. This is a rumor. Like, they're saying that Brienne's gonna.
Oh, that's the point. Well, how would that work?
I don't know how
How
that
would
works, but I
that
kind of
work?
Well,
saw
because Brienne was fall. All right, all right, now keep going.
Yeah.
it.
We can't really
Do-
touch
do
on
we
that
have
too
to
much
cut
without. No.
No, we don't have to
fuck
cut
it,
that
cut
out.
it. Well, actually, we don't know that she's following. Yeah, cut it.
All right, I'll cut it.
Um,
I'll cut a small line.
fuck it. What was I saying? Shit. But yeah, like it's from here on out. I don't know. Like it's not gonna have much effect on John's sort of stuff.
Should
It'll differ from the books because we don't know what's gonna happen to Mance in the books. Mance is still alive at this point, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't think Ramsay would say like, oh, the 6 spear wives are dead, but Mance is alive, unless Mance wasn't actually alive.
Mhm.
Can we touch on the like brief, like little credits where they showed of the next season?
I haven't watched that.
I haven't
promo.
seen that, so I don't.
It pretty much just shows Doran and Ilaria talking at the water garden, and then kind of shows the little snake dagger statue thing that they sent to Cersei.
Oh, with Marcella's.
Yeah, the little locket or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we finally get to see Arya, since we didn't see her at all in this episode, and we see her standing in front of the door.
Oh yeah,
think
Bran's
It's black and
Bran's
white.
not appearing at all this season as well.
Yeah.
It's probably worth mentioning.
Yep, no Brienne.
Yeah, we better just leave off like speculation in the next few episodes, just because the four of us.
Because we know what happens.
We know what
Well,
happens. We can't.
I'm going
we
to say
can't
this
separate
as
that.
something that hasn't happened in any episodes that we saw. I'm pretty solidly convinced at the pace we're going, Jon will die this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I can
actually.
agree with that.
Well, I'm not sure about die, but
Well,
we don't know.
you know
if
what
he
I
dies
mean.
or
You
not.
know what I
Well,
mean.
But
He gets done diddled.
Don
Yes.
Diddle.
he gets for the watched.
Yes.
Do you think that they're gonna do the Lord Commander story? Because like they were mentioning that that Alistair Thorne was like running for the position or something like that. So I'm assuming there's, or are they just gonna skip that altogether and just go for the
We
watch?
I guess we'll find out in the next few
Yeah, we
episodes.
can't.
I guess we'll find out in the next few episodes.
yeah, I guess we'll find out in the next
Wink, wink,
episodes.
nudge, nudge.
Oh fuck, I forgot.
Can't really talk about it.
Yeah, we can't talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
that
okay.
because
Well, we can,
Um,
but no one will be
We
happy.
can, but like, yeah,
Yeah.
fucking leaked episodes.
They mentioned it, so
yeah, whoever it was who did that, can you like get ahead and do the next
get us the other
6?
6, please. Was all-
Yeah, that's like,
Okay.
but as far as premiere, I mean, because apparently from the book, like not the non-book readers as well, people have said like this was quite weak as a premiere episode.
I like how it's weak, but it has the best rating. Basically.
Well, it has the best, like it has the most amount of watchers, but that's because the amount of watchers increases each season.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing: how many watchers the first episode of this like each season gets is determined by how good the last 2 episodes of the previous season are.
True. But because I mean, I remember I saw this like statistic somewhere. Someone brought it up. That like this season had like for the scene that had the most amount of time, like the storyline that had the most amount of time. This one had like 15 minutes for like the one that had the most amount of time, the storyline. Whereas the previous seasons have had like 20 minutes or even like half an hour for the scene that had the storyline that had the most amount of time.
There's more characters now, and they're more divided.
But yeah, well, yeah, because people said this was quite a weak like opening episode, and that's not just from the book readers, that's from the show watchers too.
I thought it was I didn't have a problem. I didn't think it was weak.
And because like
Nothing really happened. It was a lot of conversation.
yeah,
there's a lot of just
well,
kind of
Mance's
jumping
death
between
happens.
characters.
That was
Mance's
pretty much
death
the biggest
happens,
thing,
like,
but then you had to wait through you had to watch the whole episode before you got that, and then as soon as you get it, and you get really into it, and then it's off.
It's a lot
Well,
of set. It was a lot
I
of
guess it-
setup.
well, it's not because I think I've seen some people say that Mance's death kind of fell flat because he hasn't been much of a presence.
Well, I guess for the book readers, though, it meant a whole lot more.
For the book readers, it's
I
like
guess
a
for
bigger
just the
thing
show
because
watchers,
he
it's
appears
only
It's
more.
hard to
bunch of
separate what I know of
inches.
Mance from the books to how little he's shown in the show. So I still
Yeah.
watch.
He barely appears in the show at all.
Yeah. So I still
I
thought it
think-
was a good scene because of how much I know of him from books.
True.
I don't know, like I acknowledge like the first season had a great opener, the second season had a pretty solid opener. I didn't like
Second season wasn't that great.
I didn't like
for
the
an
third
opener.
season's opener.
The
and
first season's opener was quite boring. It was like all set up. The fourth
hated
season's one was quite good.
Yeah, it was good. That's the only one I remember besides the episode 1-1. The season 1-1. I don't remember 2 and 3. What happens when you binge watch?
Well, the season 1 episode is probably one of the best episodes of the show they've ever done.
yeah.
The opener. But this one, as season premieres go, I'd say it's better than 3.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably better than. I'm not sure better than 2. Actually, no, I don't think it's better than 2. I don't know.
2 started off pretty good, actually. I think.
2 started off pretty good. Yeah, I think it's better than 3. It's better than 3's premiere. I'll give it that. What have you just
Yeah.
typed?
Stop with the bloody coin.
Whoever is spinning that damn coin.
It's
I
not
don't
me.
have a point in my hand.
I think it's Tim. I'm blaming
Yeah,
Tim.
we should kill Tim.
You gonna try?
I can.
I'll figure it out.
Anyway, so that's essentially.
But no,
Everything
wait.
that's
We're
happened in that
gonna
episode.
close on a lovely little clip from the audiobooks of Dance Dragon. Wait, who was the best audio here? So it will actually play into the thing. so it will record.
Hang on, I can switch over my. I can do it. Hang on.
Are you going to catch our reactions to it afterwards, though?
Yeah, because it's what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my input on Skype to be my system sound.
All right. Okay.
Which
So yeah, this is a lovely clip of audio from Dance of Dragons.
Not Rage of Thrones.
It's not Rage of Thrones, no. Okay.
It's actually.
Right.
So yeah, this is from the last Daenerys chapter of Dance of Dragons. Phil, take it away.
Sunset found her squatting in the grass, groaning. Every stool was looser than the one before, and smelled fouler. By the time the moon came up, she was shitting brown water. The more she drank, the more she shat. But the more she shat, the thirstier she grew.
And the best part is Martin just smiling.
So brilliant. I will put that picture of Martin over the video.
Like, I wrote that.
Oh, just his face.
If we get copyrighted for that, I'm not going to be happy. But I don't care. I will fight every DMCA claim I get.
It's worth it. It's worth it.
Wow.
And on that wonderful piece of
Art.
Literature.
Yeah, art. That's really that.
Pushing the boundaries of the word art there, but
that is it for episode whatever this is of Trial by Podcast.
11, I think, or 12.
It's either 11 or 12. I can't
I'll
remember.
find out.
I have been Philip of Donalnoy, First Ranger.
I've been Lord Steward of Donalnoy.
I've been wondering.
Tim Morris.
Of Donalnoy. This is the Donalnoy podcast, actually, in case you didn't all know.
Yeah, this is basically Donalnoy's podcast.
I don't have anything to do with Donalnoy. I just have
Get with this.
Mag the Mighty,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is just as good.
Well, wait, we lost McCracken
Not
ages
really.
ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we lost- we lost
yeah.
McCracken.
He was here for a brief period.
And then he went to hibernation.
And then Ray, do you want to sign off?
Oh yeah, and I'm Ray, Raimundus Rex from the Usurpers Anonymous of Westeros.
His and Phil's were the only one that actually had a good closing. Everyone else just kind of buttered out something.
Donalnoy! Speaks for
Donalnoy!
the one-handed hammer-wielding giant slayer.
It's a legacy.
Why?
You don't need to say anything.
Oh, are we still going right now?
That is our outro. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
The
Adios.
Sons of the Harpy.
What if